It's day 163 and my roses still aren't out yet. I was hoping that they'd go pop yesterday, but they haven't popped yet. Anyway, so lots of people have been asking me, what is Patreon? So I'm going to take today to try and explain it. So do you remember, like a million years ago, you used to hear about artists like, I don't know, Rembrandt, for example, or probably someone poorer than Rembrandt, Van Gogh or something. They used to have a rich benefactor, and it was quite common, you know, back in the day when everybody was doing the whole Art Deco thing and art for art's sake thing, that artistes, painters, singers, performers, dancers, they would have just one rich benefactor that paid to help put events on for them and help them to live and create art, because art has been underfunded forever. It's never been properly appreciated by our governments, and it's all the money just goes to, you know, sport, or what's that other ridiculous thing, space. Why does that get all the money? What's that for? We're not even there. Let's deal with what we've got in front of us. So anyway, Patreon is an opportunity for creatives like myself to be given lots of little benefactors, people like you. And so the platform is set up, it's American, so it's set up so that you can pay as little as $1 a month. And obviously there's no limit on how much you can give if you want to give more, but for $1 a month you can become a patron via Patreon and support the arts. It's as simple as that, really. I had an interesting email with a few people about sort of what it was, and I think it's important to sort of point out the difference between patronage and charity. But it is, you know, a monthly direct debit that's going to come out of your account, just like if you were giving money to the RSPCA or the NSPCC. So I hope that sort of makes it clear what it is and what the platform's for. And in return, what most people do with Patreon, most creatives do, is they provide exclusive content that only their patrons will get. So at the moment, I'm sending my patrons behind the scenes photos of what I'm creating, of how I'm living, of the cat. I'm also sending them a song. Every Friday, I perform on screen a new song with one of my ukuleles, and I'll usually have spent the week, you know, learning it, getting it good enough to hopefully put on a camera and sharing with them. I'm doing a story called The Story So Far, which is sort of, at the moment, it's going to be about, you know, the whole Victoria Wood Edinburgh Festival show, why I wanted to create it, who's involved, etc, etc, etc. But I think I'm going to be expanding that to be more about my career so far, sort of the backstory. And those are much longer videos, sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, to delve in a lot deeper when you have the time. And those come out on Tuesdays usually. So there's just a few examples of what I'm doing. So if you're into supporting the arts, if you think they're important, if you're well aware of how valuable the artistic creative people that you know are, then Patreon's something to consider. And I know it's not a great time for a lot of people. A lot of people like me have lost a lot of work, and I hear you, I hear that. So don't forget that you can always be helpful by sharing a post or a video, liking, commenting, subscribing if there's an option to subscribe, and things like that. They make a big difference if people get behind it and do it. And just, I don't know, just, it's a bit of a virtual wave, really, to say, I see you're creating content, I see you're sharing all of this stuff all the time, and I want to say thank you. Whether you do that in a monetary way, whether you do that in a different way, it's appreciated. So anyway, that's what Patreon is. And you can find in the comments ways a link so that you can read more about my own specific one. But if it's not me, patronize somebody else. There's lots of wonderful, wonderful artists on Patreon, so go check it out in general. I mean, obs me, but no pressure. Me, but no pressure, obviously. But me. Don't forget to press the subscribe button. and I'll see you tomorrow, if we're saved.